Welcome back to the Morning Line. Time for Going Greyhounds here on this Thursday. A Group 1 night of racing coming up from Albion Park, the Gold Bullion and Gold Cup, the two features. Plenty of other great races on the program and plenty of winners to be found. Luckily, that's not my job. It's the job of this man, Jason Adams, who joins me here this morning. Patch, good morning to you, mate. Plenty of key stuff to get through here on what looks a great night coming up from Albion Park.
Yeah, good morning to you, Lewis, and it's a great night tonight, headlined by the Gold Bullion, also the Gold Cup, two ripping races, and also the Gold Oldies too, which we'll get stuck into throughout this morning's show. But a great period of time, not only for racing, we've got cricket kicking off mid-afternoon, which is just absolutely delightful, rolling in to a magnificent night of greyhound racing this evening, mate. So couldn't be more excited for that, and particularly to preview it all on this morning's show.
Yeah, if you're a sports fan and you're not excited at the moment, I actually can't help you. Let's take a look at this Group 1 Gold Bullion final market, courtesy of the Tab and Good Odds Cobber, who of course was an automatic qualifier into the race through the match race series. He's the $2.70 favourite to take it out. Vincent Bale, $3. Deadly Avenger, $3.80. And then the rest are double figures. Mapunga Tully heading those as a $10 chance. Let's take a look at some of our key chances, Patch, and we'll start with Deadly Avenger, the Group 1 Silver Chief place getter, who ran best of night time to qualify through the heats for this final.
He was very good. And when he gets away like that, he is truly a machine. And I remember going back to October where he went around in a heat of the Cranbourne Cup. He ran third behind Mapunga Shine and Tim Zoo. And Joe Borg after the race was filthy, mainly because of the box draws, because he was so adamant that this boy has what it takes to win these big races. So since then, he's come of age. He's gone 29.07 in the Melbourne Cup prelude. He's ran second behind Epitomised in the Silver Chief. And just like Steve Smith taking the helmet off and putting on the baggy green, Lewis, he's in the zone at the moment, Deadly Avengers. So the start's all important for tonight. We're taking him seriously now. If he wins it tonight, boy, we'll all be taking him seriously. This is Mapunga Tully winning her heat last weekend. Look, she's another one that's had a great career so far. And the only thing that's hurt her at times is being a little bit inconsistent in the way that she begins. But her finest work is undeniable. 29.55 here last week. 29.08 at Sandown before that when being beaten by Flying Zulu. So ability-wise, can she win it? 100%. Box 5 isn't great. There's nothing about the speed map that suggests to me that she's going to get clear air to go straight to the top. So it is absolutely vital that she steps away well, which she sometimes can do, sometimes she doesn't do. But we'll see what we get from her tonight.
All of the dogs in this final, of course, hit it in super form, but this one perhaps more than others. Daisy's Rory, who's won 8 of its last 10, including last 2 on the bounce, so he's flying at the moment here from box 7.
He's absolutely humming. And look, if this run wasn't in the form guide and I'm looking at him going to tonight, I probably would have said he can't win the race. And that was because I wouldn't think he's capable of running 29.58. He's absolutely flying at the moment. And look, he's won 13 races of his 43 starts. 8 of those wins have come in his past 10. So a huge credit to the Prince, Tommy Zavellis, and the way that he's got Daisy's Rory going at the moment. The only 2 times he's been beaten in those 10 starts has been in the heat of the Queensland Derby and also in the Phoenix, where he ran third. So he's humming at the moment. He's going the show pace. The only sort of negatives you can surround him tonight is that he's got some pretty sharp pace and he's inside. The likes of Good Odds Cobber, Deadly Avenger, Mapunga Tully if she gets it right. So he's got the best amount of speed in the race. If he goes forward and replicates that time last week, he'll be the one to catch, but it's all about crossing those key contenders on his immediate inside.
Well, speaking of Good Odds Cobber, the Group 2 Match Race Series winner gaining automatic entry into this final. There's certainly no doubting the talent, Patch, but I guess it was somewhat of a surprise win in this race. Was sent around $8 in the final field market and had probably the strongest of the match races.
Yeah, smooth playing was all the rage, and you can argue that Good Odds Cobber was disrespected given the situation, and he just gave it to everyone, running 29.50. So, I mean, what more can you say about this boy going into tonight? Because he speaks for himself. In the heat of the golden ticket, he won in tough conditions in 30 flat. He then rolled into this match race to go 29.50, knocking off Smooth Plains. So he also hand-slipped at Albion Park last Thursday night, and I don't remember the time, but I remember the commentary around it saying it was absolutely humming. And then he's come up with box one in the final. So, I mean, could anything be more perfect for him going into this race? Frank Hurst would probably say absolutely, and that is winning the bloody race, but the ball is in his court after drawing box one. So it's not clear-cut. I mean, you don't look at him and think, I don't know how he can be beaten. It's not that sort of race, but he's got the cards up his sleeve. He's got the track position, which is so important when it comes to these big races and getting the clearest run in the run to the first turn. So that's vital. He's got every chance. He's gone 29.50 his last outing. A hand slip to put the cherry on top last week. I mean, I wanted to go with Vincent Bale, but I just didn't have a strong enough reason to go against Good Odds Cobber. So he's the one that I'm leaning towards in tonight's Gold Bullion.
Love it. So Good Odds Cobber on top. $3 into $2.70 since that market was posted off box number one. Jared Daffy, his selections as well, and liking Good Odds Cobber to join Morton. Hello, Mike. Jungle Juice, Shimmer, Shine and Seneki as previous winners of late of the Gold Bullion final, Group 1 tonight from Albion Park. That's race 8 on the program. Little earlier on in the night is the Gold Cup final patch for the stayers. Here's what the market, courtesy of Tab, is saying for it at this stage. Ethanol Water is your $2.90 fave. And I can tell you at that price, in from $3.20, pretty similar to Good Odds Cobber in the Gold Bullion. Black Silence at $4 unchanged. Late Night News at $5. Valpolicella that price as well. Little trim in for Irish Millie off box one, $7 into $6.50. Not a whole lot to report for the others. Ethanol Water bounced back to the winner's stall, courtesy of a best of night heat run over pass mark here, Patch.
Yeah, she was at her absolute finest last week. And look, the field wasn't that deep, so she should have won, and she did. But the manner of which she did it was really impressive. So we go back a couple of runs where she started favourite in the Golden Sands, and she was never in that race. So, look, I think at this stage of her career, she's probably better placed over 700 metres. She'll jump from box 3 again tonight. The pace isn't electric throughout this field, so she should be able to go forward. And as we saw in the Bold Trease, even if she doesn't go forward and lead, she can still win from off the pace. So she's probably the best all-rounder in the field. And what I mean by all-rounder is she can show pace and go forward. And if she's sitting off the pace, she's probably still a winning chance as well. So, look, she can't afford interference early because there's other greyhounds in this field with better closing sectionals, the likes of Black Silencer, who we're about to take a look at now. But Ethanol Water deserves to be favourite, and there's no arguments from me from that point of view. This is Black Silencer doing his thing. And look, the other contender in this race is Late Night News. He's wearing the red rug. He's gotten well back in the field. And, of course, this was his first outing after his win in the Summer Distance Plate at Wentworth Park, where he had no look at Albion Park, so he was fresh and watching Get Home here. But for Black Silencer, he's put in a few average runs on occasions, but generally he's been very good. And I don't think he's ever looked as lethal as what he does now. So, look, our read on him in the past few months is that he'll drop back in the field and that he needs luck. At the moment, he looks better than that. He's going forward. He's setting up races at an earlier stage of the race and still hitting the line pretty well. So it's so hard not to be impressed by what he's doing at the moment. And likewise for Late Night News, who's going to take plenty from that outing last Thursday night. This is the win of the champ, Valpolicella. And look, when I sum her up, Lewis, I think of the past 6 months, and I basically throw the form guide out when it comes to her, because by that I mean it's one thing to know a greyhound's form, it's another thing to know the dog. And I think we know Valpolicella pretty well. And as we said last week, it was just the circumstances around her that led to her finding her best last week. Smaller field, room to carve through. She cuts loose here and hits the line well. So, look, she's won 4 of her past 12, and most weeks she's been going around at $1.50, $1.70. So she's proved pretty hard to catch for the punters. But, I mean, going into a full field tonight, it's going to be interesting. There's slow beginners either side of her, and as quoted in the Grand Recorder, her owner, Sandro Piccini, has said that if she was to win the race, it's possibly the last time that we see of Valpolicella. But I'm willing to take her on, given she's back into a full field with an immense pressure, and that has been her undoing over the past 6 months. So I would love nothing more for her to go out and win, but I just feel like I should be up against her under the circumstances tonight, which means I am in the camp of late night news. I've just loved what he's done to this point of his career. I mean, he was thrown over 700 metres very early on. He's handled it to perfection. He was great in the summer distance, played, of course, could have had that awesome battle with Kenya Amy, which didn't come to fruition, but I thought he was great last week. I don't expect him to get as far back as what he did in the heat. So I really feel if he's to settle in a prominent position, he's absolutely a winning chance. And this is a bit of a tip from the heart as well, Lewis, because I've just been taken by this boy in his runs over 700 metres. So it's an epic race, this. I mean, we've been critical of some staying races over the past few months in their depth. This is a beauty. The best stayers in Australia at this point in time going head-to-head. So it's going to be a cracker and late night news for me.
Yeah, second that for sure. $5.50 currently available for late night news in the blue rug. Jared Daffy, who does he like? For the Gold Cup final, it's Ethanol Water as your 280 fave to be taking it out. Of course, only run as a Group 1 once, and that was last year where Valpolicella took it out. So plenty to play out, plenty on the line coming up for that Group 1 Gold Cup later this evening. Next race to preview, as you mentioned, off the top is the Golden Oldies, a race that was won last year by Tom Zavelis, who's going to join us very shortly on the show. This year's favourite is Succeed at $2.30. Comes up as race 7 and splits the two Group 1s tonight. I'm peaking at $4. Willow's Gift $6. Honeybar Cool $6.50. Hara's Cookie and Bogey Dominator are both $7.50 chances. Willow's Gift is the one we're going to focus on. Third elect, currently $6. Ran best of night time to win the heat of this series by over 5 lengths in a pretty dominant display.
Yeah, not a stack between them from the market's point of view, Lewis, but I will be tipping him on top. I mean, he doesn't have a truckload of speed himself, but it's not a race that has a heap of it anyway. So, look, he broke 30 seconds here at Albion Park to qualify for this race, and that seems enough for me. The draw looks okay. He seems to have a bit more speed than those on his immediate inside, and just breaking 30 seconds in a field like this, I think, is an important thing. So, look, clearly Succeed is the danger. And this is another case, as I mentioned with Valpolicella, about throwing the form out and just knowing the dog, because he raced for the first time under the care of Tony Brett last week. He looked wayward. He still finished off really well, but I've got no doubts he's one of the fastest greyhounds in Australia. He just doesn't apply himself to get the maximum out of his ability. So in reality, he's probably got 6 to 8 lengths on this field from an ability point of view. Will he turn up and bring that to the table? I don't know. And I don't want to take him at such short odds. So Willow's Gift is the one for me. Breaks 30 seconds, more reliability about him than what there is Succeed. But, I mean, it's a roller coaster with Succeed. He's got plenty of X Factor. I love watching him because of that X Factor. But as favourite, he's just not one that you invest in, given the short quote, given the unknown about him, but can run like the wind. No two ways about that. But Willow's Gift for me in our Golden Oldies tonight at Albion Park.
All right, let's see who Daff's keen on, and he's keen to strap into the rollercoaster ride for Succeed. Tipping it on top to the Golden Oldies, race 7, as mentioned. It splits the two Group 1s on the program tonight from Albion Park. Their first race tonight at 13 minutes past 7 Australian Daylight Savings Time, which means 13 minutes past 6 local time. In terms of a best bet overall on the card for Jared Daffy, let's see who he's lobbed us up with. And there it is, race 3, number 1, More Than Money. And in the Group 1 Gold Cup, race 6, number 3, Ethanol Water. So 2 specials tonight on that card for Daff, who will be trackside alongside Liam Mulry. Sky Racing active for uninterrupted coverage if you're keen to view it there. Sky Racing 1 throughout the course of the night as well for a big Group 1 program out of Albion Park. Can't wait to watch that unfold. Patch, will take a short break. Other side, Tom Zavelis will join us with a really strong hand in both of those Group 1s and 6 other runners across the card as well. So I'm sure we'll be able to find a winner with him after this.